Hello and welcome to Oh, whoops. There you go, that's better. My beard grown, my hair grown out a little bit. Poor imitation of Jon Bernthal. But we're here to talk about Punisher, One Last Kill. I finished a couple of hours ago, had some lunch, let it settle a bit because, I mean, that was intense. That was an intense 45, 50 minute show, special presentation. I checked beforehand, there's been 3 Marvel special presentations. All 3 I think have been bangers. Guardians, the Werewolf by Night, and this. Why don't Marvel do more of these? Anyway, back to Punisher, One Last Kill. And I'll try my best not to reveal spoilers, but, you know, sorry not sorry. If you don't really don't want to know anything about it, go away, watch it, come back, please. But I thought it was amazing. I thought it was brilliant. I thought Jon Bernthal, who wrote it, co-wrote it and produced it, as well as starred in it, I thought it was brilliant. I thought it was amazingly well acted, well written for the most part, well shot as well. Ronaldo Marcus Jones, who directed, King Richard's the only thing I've seen him direct, and he also directed the Bob Marley biopic from a couple of years ago, which I haven't seen. But yeah, I thought it was really well shot, really well directed. The action's amazing. The action is incredible, and I think the story is it's a lovely quote unquote with the Punisher. It's a nice, well-contained story. We'll get into the story, I guess. You open up, find Frank Castle very much traumatized by the events that's happened so far to him, traumatized by his wife and child, the loss of his wife and children, and also the former soldiers who he used to work with. If you've seen The Punisher Season 1, there are a couple of cameos that you will recognise from the show, who make appearances as sort of visions of his, flashbacks if you will. Again, try not to spoil anything, but yeah, so he's traumatised and he's living in a flat in an apartment block. Essentially, he's living in Little Sicily, I believe, in New York. Again, you can tell by the accent. I'm in the UK. I'm British. I know nothing about New York geography. Very little. Queens, I know from Spider-Man. That's it. So you find him basically living in this war zone. Essentially, gangs everywhere, crime happening all over the place. Regular citizens being forced to subjected to violence, and the worst part is that you see, you know, the younger members of the community, the children, exposed to the worst kind of violence and language and all kinds of environments. Really horrible environment, clearly. The issue, and so the Frank Castle sees a couple of occasions by it, sort of shrugs it off. Frank Castle's at the end of his tether. He's looking to not just hang up the jacket, so to speak, or the t-shirt, but also he's looking to end it all in the worst way possible. And that's where we find him. And it's very well explained in the first 5 minutes. You sort of know where you are, choreographed, very well shot, very well placed. So you know exactly what's happening, you know where you are, what's happening. That said, a ghost of Frank's past, or very recent past, the mother of 4 brothers who he murdered, who they don't explain exactly why he did it, but you've got to assume if the Punisher's after you, you've done something wrong. And the mother sort of alludes to it as well, by saying, "Oh, I know my son didn't do that," and I think they're alleging some untoward things involving children, which is, you know, perfect case for the Punisher to intervene and dish out his brand of justice. So that's where we find ourselves. And what happens is just Punisher obviously has enough is enough, puts, you know, the jacket back on to a certain extent, and we have absolute carnage for about 45 minutes, and I thought it was brilliant. It was absolutely amazing. It's one of the best things I think Marvel's done in a long time, and I don't think Marvel had much to do with it, if I'm honest, which is maybe why. I think there's I'll get to what I think the Marvel intervention may have been, the very minor one, in a bit, but I just think more of these special presentations, please. The acting is good for the most part for what's in it. Jon Bernthal especially is amazing, incredible. He embodies Frank Castle so well. I can't believe there's people who don't think he's good as the Punisher. I think he's amazing, so much so that I can't envision anyone else being that role. He's so good. Other things to consider, I think it's really well shot. I mean, Ronaldo Marcus Green, I think his name is, apologies, really well shot. The parts where he's in his apartment, the parts where he's just walking the street, really smooth, really well positioned and shot and located and shown. And then you get to the shaky cam action things, and this is where he really comes into his own, because I'll be honest, I'm not a massive fan of the shaky cam action films, especially when it's done poorly, where you can't work out what's going on. Give you an example, Jason Bourne, I think was the name of the film from 2015, 2016. I think it's the last time Matt Damon was Jason Bourne. I had to literally turn away from the screen in the cinema because I was getting such a migraine from the shakiness of the camera, and you can't work out. I can't stand it. I know that's become like a common trope nowadays, that every action film has to have the shaky cam. But this example, I didn't miss one beat of any of the action. It was shaky cam, of course, because that's just the trope, but I didn't miss. It was so well choreographed and so well presented, and it was almost to the borderline of what shaky cam should be. It was right on that edge, and so I followed everything. I thought it was really, really well directed. So credit to Ronaldo Marcus Green as well for that, because I think that was a real triumph. I would like to see this replicated everywhere, but you know, wishful thinking. Other than that, I think, you know, the kids he encounters, there's a son and a mother across, literally the apartment across from him, who are dead cute. You get why he would intervene in that scenario. There's a daughter of a deli owner who's nearby his apartment, who basically get ramsacked and stuff, and he has an affinity for those two because he had a son and a daughter. So totally, really, really well, I mean, for a 45-minute special, essentially, I was really, really well paced, to this point where I felt like, wow, this must be over soon, because it's been so much has happened. Check the timer, and there's still 20 minutes left. I was like, geez. So I think it's really, really rewarding. If you're a fan of the character, I think this embodies the character. No, it's just like opening a Punisher one-off comic, and you read it, you're done, you're more than satisfied. I thought that was great, and I thought it was so good in so many different ways. And so I would recommend it. It's a big thumbs up from me. I would recommend it wholeheartedly. I'll get to my Marvel intervention, because I don't think Marvel had much of anything to do with this. I could be totally wrong, but there was one line he says at the end. You know, I think it's an ambiguous ending anyway. This may be his swan song. We'll get to that in a second. But he says, I'll love you, my son and my daughter and my wife, until the end of time. Key word there being the end of time. We know what's coming. Doomsday, Secret Wars. Will we see this character again? I think this remains to be seen. But will we see him in Secret Wars? Don't know. That line is very curious, and that feels like a Marvel little input that wasn't in the original script. They just put it there to make people think, make people, idiots like me, to think maybe he just might appear in Secret Wars or Doomsday. Won't be Doomsday, but interesting. Will he play the Punisher again? And it's a completely different question. I don't know. I think it's such an I don't want to say an ambiguous ending, but it is a pocket ending, if that makes sense. It's an ending where you go, oh, I can see him portraying the Punisher, obviously. Before you shout at me, I know he's going to play the Punisher in Spider-Man in 2 months. I get it. But will this be his swan song, and then he's done? He's gone? He's, you know, out the door? I don't know. It could be. I know there's going to be a hard reset coming. It's easy to see. He might just go, do you know what? I've done everything I could possibly wish to do as the Punisher. I've got more. I mean, I'm in the Odyssey in 2 months anyway as well. I don't really need this. I've done everything I hope to achieve, but I hope not, because I think he's really good. But I just thought it was amazing. It's a really, really good special. I really enjoyed it thoroughly. I do recommend it if you like the character. If you've enjoyed him in Daredevil season 2 from Netflix, Daredevil Born Again as well, or any of the Punisher series from Netflix. I think series 1 is better than series 2, but that's just my opinion. Yeah, I think he really, really, really good one-off special. And please, Marvel, if anyone's listening, Kevin Feige, I know you're a big fan, or even Jon Bernthal himself, Brad Winterbaum, you're the TV guy, do more special presentations, because they're so good. They're so, you go in, you go out, you're there for about an hour, just under, and you get your fix. I think it's just, like I said, it's just like opening a comic. You get, alright, cool, nice little adventure, in and out, done. It's really great. What did you think? Did you enjoy it as much as I did? Clearly, because I'm a big shill. Let me know in the comment section below. Please leave a like and subscribe on the channel as well. That always helps the growth. I'm looking to do more, like I said, video content. So genie's out of the bottle. I'm out. Here we are. Hello. But let me know anyway, either way, whether you enjoyed it or not. And I'll speak to you next time. Thank you so much. Bye bye.